Had nothing else to do, so I might as well come on here and talk to everybody instead of staring at tumbleweeds and dirt. um, kind of moved things from my storage. I had a shed thing. It had no roof when I got here. I threw some tin up there, and the windstorm blew it all off. So I took what I had in there and I put it in the trailer that's here. I figure if the wind, when the wind blows that trailer over, then I got to worry about it blowing over my RV. But I was looking at in the thrill of the chase in the first chapter. Basically, it's about important literature and both Hemingway and Fitzgerald committed suicide. He mentions they're the two authors he mentions first, and then J.D. Salinger, his son jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and committed suicide. And Forrest talks about jumping off the bridge. He talks about his dad's suicide, and the poem hints at that he was going to jump off a cliff and land there next to the treasure at the bottom of the cliff. And yeah, I know. Yeah, there's some spots there that work real good. So, all these places along the bottom of the cliff are possibilities where that treasure might be. And yeah, it's just that I was reading, and there's some movies, some documentaries, biographies on Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald. That's the Fitzgerald he's talking about in here. And yeah, they both committed suicide. And old Salinger, he was like a recluse. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He was, like even the town he lived in, nobody would give out any information about him because he didn't want to talk to strangers. Because everybody's coming there looking for handouts from him, I wouldn't mind a little help getting I'd like get a gallery. I got a little spot, and it's cheap real estate on a highway, so it's a good spot. But yeah, those guys committed suicide. The two of those guys committed suicide, and Sounder, talks a lot about just really off the wall stuff, and things people think that you don't ever say, But some people don't realize that, I've got these stories about. Let's see, where's my ancestors? There he is. Oh no, that's Robert Rogers here. The Rogers Rangers. The movie Northwest Passage with Kenneth Roberts is about him, and he's my fifth great granduncle. My fifth great grandfathers were Colonel James Rogers and Ethan Allen. They conspired to make Vermont independent of Vermont. They make Vermont independent of the U.S. and Great Britain. So, because I got ancestors that go way back. Even this is signed here by my ninth great grandfather right down here, Noah Hinman. And Forrest has his Noah thing. What a name. That's what he named. So, he didn't have a son. If he would have had a son, I wonder if he'd name him Noah like he says in the book. But, so, he's my ninth great grandfather, and he was like, lieutenant governor or something. He was some big shot in Connecticut. And you see the date on here, December 3rd, 1735. is it 1735? I can't. 39. 1739. Now, that's still oldish crap. And in 21 years, this will be 300 years old. It's almost 300 years old. This is a land plot, and basically it's kind of like a treasure map. You follow the, and that's what you're doing in Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt. You're following from this point to this point to this point to this point, and it'll lead you to the wood, and from there you're going to start seeing a lot of the stuff that's in the drawings. But you should start seeing it near the home of Brown. I expect there's more. If I was able to walk the 4.5 miles to that one hot spring, But anyhow, I've done a lot of research on my family, because my mother, my great grandfather, his mother, her name was Mary Allen Rogers because she's descended from Ethan Allen and James Rogers, and it's like, the real revolutionary, real important people back in the before the revolution and during the revolution and all that. And so I've got a book I started about, the descendants of James Rogers and I have a website called Montalona.com, MONTALONA.com. And that's the descendants of James Rogers, father of the Rangers. And he's my sixth great grandfather, James Rogers. There were three. There was James, so I had all three of the Jameses in my line, So, but the earliest one we know of, he was mistaken for a bear. Well, he was going over to visit his friend Ebenezer Eyre, who lived in Bow, New Hampshire, and the Rogers they had a cabin in home in Dunbarton. It was only a mile or two, and so anyhow, he learned that Ebenezer Eyre had shown up for hunting season, and he went over to visit him for dinner, and so it's fall or spring. I don't know when hunting season is. I think it's fall they go hunting, and after all the calves are all raised and all that, and rutting the season kind of. But so he went over to visit Ebenezer Eyre, and so it must have been a cold day or something, because he decided to wear his bear coat, bear hat, bear gloves, and he's heading over to Ebenezer's, and Ebenezer thinks it's the bear that's been coming around, and he shot him. He shot my sixth great grandfather, and then he, I'm sure he yelled out in the forest, "Hey, you bastard!" Yeah. So, maybe I just heard him. the you bastard call that took 250 years to make it here, But so he shot him, and he carried him home to his family. He was dying. He carried him all the way home. What's up? What's up? Oh, what's up? Okay, yeah. So he carried him all the way home to his family, and he actually died at home with his family. He got him. He didn't die till later that evening. But if they had a good doctor, he probably could have been saved. Just Matt, just a little nursing and all that, and the modern stuff. What people know, if there's anybody with any medical that could have saved him. But so that's James Rogers. But his brother was Robert Robert Rogers, the Ranger, who the movie Northwest Passage is about. The guy who showed up here, and anyhow, he done a book in 1765, the concise account of North America. It was a yep, I'm near Alamosa. Yeah, I've got to go up and look at. We got a snowstorm coming Friday, Saturday. There's supposed to snow in the forecast, so we'll see. You know, after it snows, you got to wait a few days for it to snow, especially in a lot of the areas and shadows and stuff. But so anyhow, he wrote a book on a concise account of North America in 1765, and you know, and it hadn't been republished. There's been people that'll sell you really ugly copies and stuff, and really the English back then, the F's looked different. The S looked like an F. Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't been to Durango. Oh, well, I was in Durango a long time ago. Maybe in 1995, I went to Durango. Next. Is that like Farmington? But so he wrote that book, and I thought I'd do, you know, everybody, you know, because you'd have to go to a library to look at the book and stuff, and have trouble finding them. So I retyped his entire book, you know, because he's been dead more than 75 years, and so there's no copyright. Wasn't a copyright on it, but there is a copyright on my version because it's kind of transcribed from old script to new script, you know. So it's changed enough that it's a new copyright basically. So you can't print it. If you did it without the script S's like me and stuff, then you'd be violating my copyright. But you see there, that's me right there. That's my name on there. So, yeah. So I did that one. Was that the first one? Yeah. This was my first book I published. I published that 10 years ago or 11 years ago, 2007 or something. And then James Rogers, my fifth great grandfather, he married Margaret McGregor, who is the daughter of Reverend David McGregor. He was a prominent Presbyterian. He did the first Presbyterian, or his father gave the first Presbyterian sermon in North America and stuff. And they didn't want those Presbyterians living down there with the Catholics in Boston. And you guys had to go up there and live in New Hampshire because we don't want you people around Boston. You know, the snobs in Boston didn't want the other people, the Irish and Scotch, living in there around them. So they founded a place called Nutfield, New Hampshire, which is now Derry and East Derry. Bought some cheap land. Bought some cheap land, needed a place, this place to unload some things from my RV, and I've almost got that little travel trailer filled up with stuff that I took out of my RV. So I'm gaining a lot of space in my RV. But so anyhow, Robert Rogers, his brother was my fifth great grandfather. He married Margaret McGregor. Her father was Reverend Dave McGregor. He had, I found 7 sermons that were in historical libraries and stuff, and they allowed me to photograph The they were little pamphlet books with this different sermons in it, and I retyped up all of that. See, there I am again. There's my name down there. So I have the works of Reverend David McGregor, and I got a picture of his house the day before it was torn down. This is I did my artist rendition of, I restored it in the picture basically, and I didn't have a picture of David McGregor. So my dad was kind of an atheist until just before he died, and so I turned him into a preacher. So, but I got pictures of his house like 2 days before they tore it down. It was built in 1735, and I've got a piece of lumber from a piece of timber from the house, and I had some rocks from the house, and I had them outside my RV, right on either side. These two nice size granite rocks like this, they're just like river rock, big granite river rock, nice, and I had one on either side of the steps to my RV, kind of like, at the threshold there, and girlfriend I had took them and used them somewhere to fill in a hole under the fence where the dogs were digging through. So I don't have those rocks anymore. But, there's 7 of his sermons in here, and I got and I added pictures from like the cemetery. Got his tombstone in there, and on the fence it says first settlers. There's his house with the actual picture of the house, and I restored it for the cover of the book. But you can get these, you can get both my books on Amazon. They've been on Amazon for 10 years. Concise Account of North America and the works of Reverend David McGregor. And it's his 7 sermons on a trial of the spirits. Professors warned of their danger. The true believers all secured. The Christian soldier. Addresses of the right hand of fellowship, Christian unity and peace. An Israelite indeed, the voice of the prophets considered. Why they messed that up? See the little brackets? That was supposed to be some other symbol. They used the wrong font when they printed it. But you see, I kind of redid what the covers of the original pamphlets. I redid them in just nice, clean, new text, and redid the whole thing without the script S's, and see the chapters are all. It's all. I did a good job, and I did all the everything between the covers. I did. They added this cover here, but everything from the contents to do they have something in here? Did they put something about me? No. Yeah, everything from the contents to the end of the book was, I had to do all the editing and I did all the typing and in both of these, So then I want to talk about, since I was talking about Robert Rogers. Well, I was out there in New England doing a bunch of research and all. You talk to other people researching the same thing and stuff. And this guy did this book. This book's about my family. You'll find my Rogers stories about Robert Rogers and stuff in here. And I was talking to a woman at the it's not where Warm Waters Hall. I know where Warm Waters Hall's Pagosa. It's either Pagosa or it's Rainbow Hot Springs. One of the two. I the thing with Rainbow Hot Springs, it's kind of like to go from there to Brown, then you got to backtrack or something, and it's like no, I think we're going in a continuous. From Pagosa, it's a continuous line, and from the other route, it's yeah, it's very windy here, man. I got some cool plans for a homemade wind generator, and I'll make a video of that when I get it going. And it's gonna be, you'd be like, wow, man, that's neat. It's a really cool idea, but I need to trying to acquire the wheel I need, the right wheel, a bicycle wheel, as big around as I can get. But yeah, we had the last 6 days or 4 days that were 45-mile-an-hour winds. One day, the one day they got up to 57-mile-an-hour winds. It was a steady 50 and gusting to 57. Yeah. Customers ask. Yeah, I gotta go up to I go up to Denver once a month to get something to save money. But yeah, I'm going up, going to the Alan Parsons Project concert up in Denver, June 2nd. June 2nd at Levitt Park, or Levitt Amphitheater. And yeah, the Alan Parsons Project, man, they're cool. And that's what I should do for that, yeah. I was just having a thought of, might as well have a lot of fun there at that concert. People not getting hot for Cumbers Pass. Yeah, because they're followers. They're following the dingbats down there. That they cross Colorado off. They put a big X on Colorado. And really what they don't know is that X they put on Colorado is really the X at the treasures in Colorado. That's funny. Yeah. They put that big X. They X'd off Colorado because that's where the treasure is. That's why they put an X on it. They didn't realize it. And in their own mind, they really knew it because that's where they put the X. Tore out that road. Yeah. Like, I go metal detecting. It's like, I don't want to even look near a railroad. Because all you got to find is all kinds of railroad junk. Or in mining places, there's all kinds of junk. But what? Up Beaver Creek off the Pinos is well, yeah. Yeah, it's I found too many of his drawings in nature to consider anything outside my Fenn zone. I've just and I don't lie to people that I'm not going to lie and say, oh yeah, that's a good idea, because then I'm just leading them on to the wrong place. I can't. I don't. And I know that even if someone knew the vicinity, that they're 2 years behind me in searching that area. Yeah. I've been to No Place for the Meek. uh, if Red Riding Hood had the poem, she'd have had the treasure already. I think Grandma's got it. or, or maybe that's the Three Bears. That's Goldilocks. It's not part of the. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf. The big bad wolf. The gypsies are afraid of the big bad wolf. This is no paddle up your creek. Well, look at the name. It's not Treasure Creek. Oh, but it's not the only creek. It's not the only creek, and it's not the only brown, and there are two where there's three where warm waters halts. There's there's several homes of browns. There's and they're all in the same pie. you can look at the items of his poem as items in a pot pie, you know. The omegas are the peas, and the, you know, and which one of them, or the combination of this and this and this, which one of them points to it? My son was saying, you know, to plot all these places on a map and draw lines between them, and they'll intersect where. Yeah, but you have to have all of the correct symbols located, and you can't have any symbols that aren't part of it, you know, because there's things I found that he doesn't really mention, but it's like, wow, man, that's cool. Like the Olnack head. He doesn't mention that in his book, but Doug mentions the Olnack head in his book. And then you got Captain Long John Silver, from his nose to his toes, draws a line that points the way to the treasure. Okay, Dirk. Yep, I'm eating at a malt shop, Pagosa. Yeah. David Santa. I think Santa Dave. He was Santa Dave Brown. I like having lunch at Kip's. I haven't been to Kip's, so I'd have to check that out. I go to this place. It's not after hours. It's the break room. They got good great. I love their hamburgers. After I had one of their hamburgers, I went there again to have hamburgers. You can bring your dog too. Their dog has the same name as my dog, so everybody's Jack, Jack, Jack. Down, Jack. Off, Jack. You don't say it the other way. Yeah, but yeah, The Scalp Hunters by Raymond Potvin. Yeah, my buddy. I'll just show you. Where is it? Here. Yeah, I got. They both autographed it. Oh, pretty cool. Scalp Hunters. That's on Amazon too. So I got these two books on Amazon. This is really all on my webpage, Montalona.com. But yeah, and then I got the Rogers, Robert Rogers, James Rogers. Oh, okay. So yeah, Robert Rogers was the major. James Rogers is brother, my fifth great grandfather. But I've got a letter that was wrote from my fourth great granduncle to my fourth great grandaunt. You know, in December of 1797 from it was from sent the letter, I think, from Boston to New Hampshire. It didn't go very, 40 miles, I think the letter went, but it was from a David Rogers, who was David McGregor Rogers, and he was a member of Canadian Parliament. See, because my family were conspired to make Vermont independent of the United States. At sometime during at the end of the Revolution, when Vermont decided to become a state, then he was considered they were considered traitors and all because they were Tories, and they weren't really Tories because they were keeping Vermont independent from England and the United States, but they in the Revolution they fought for England anyhow, and they lost their land in America fighting for England, and so they were granted this province in southern Ontario near Grafton and Fredericksburg, and between Grafton and Fredericksburg, that area along the northern shore of Lake Ontario there, and so there's a lot of Rogers up there that are my relatives, and also one of those relatives was Richard Birdsail Rogers, who designed the locks that go from Lake Ontario up. I think it's Lake Erie or something. It crosses over. It takes a shortcut across. It doesn't go to Erie. It goes to Lake Huron, I think, or whatever. It gets up in those and so they got another passage, another route other than going by Niagara Falls. And Rogers talks about in here. He talks about Niagara Falls. You could hear it from 25 miles away. Only like 10% of the water that used to go over the falls is allowed to go over the falls nowadays. There used to be 10 times more water. And could you imagine the sound of that? Man, it was a roar and a big, all the steam coming up. But he talks about that below the falls was littered with corpses of animals and people and things that had the carnage that had gone over the falls, and there's a section about each like St. John's Island, and then there's New England, and then he does he does Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Connecticut was like a fine cask of liquor with a tap at either end. So I guess the Dutch and things then there's New York, and they got the little map from off of one of the Jonathan Carver maps. Jonathan Carver was his map maker. Found a running man in Arrowhead. Oh, what's a running man in Arrowhead? I haven't seen a running man in Arrowhead in his book. Can you repost? Getting fired up with the Mammoth mask on. I just made it private. It's still on YouTube, but I've got everybody locked out of it. I get pissed off. I don't get the recognition, and when you don't get the recognition, that's the same as crapping on you. You know what I mean? And basically, not recognizing me as a valid searcher while they're there's preschool in the Fenn world, and they got people that are in the preschool part of the search. they he mentioned that I'm here to go watch my channel, whatever, but there's never and they're talking about, well, we're thinking about, he does a lot of thinking about things, and there's people that talk and no action. Well, I ain't seen, you're doing all the talking. Everybody say, get Gorman on, get Gorman. And now they're not even allowed to mention me, So, just, don't, I was blocked from their channel. I'd go to post, and the things wouldn't post, and I was blocked. I don't know if they unblocked me or not, but I'm not trying, because they public shame you and stuff, and call you a fool that you're only seeing shapes and rocks. Their version of the book doesn't have any drawings or pictures in it. An analyst can't interpret images. The words are what's important, I don't know. They don't have a solve. They just threw it out the window, and they haven't had a new one yet. They said, well, we got to listen to people that think of it a completely different from the other side of the table, basically, or I don't know, look at it completely opposite of what we do, and get them on. Yeah, I'm that person that's completely opposite of you, that's for sure. But what about semantics? I don't know what you're talking about. You gotta explain semiotics, symbian, like they're like some type of symbian, like a trill. But I go with, I use magic. Like things attract, right? There's a pair of frogs in the treasure chest. The one he's missing his little ruby eyeball, So there's a pair of frogs. These frogs are attracted to the frogs in the treasure. You repeat over and over to yourself that you're gonna find all the only positive things. Don't ever, don't say if. You say when I get the treasure. Signifier. Let's say signified. Oh, where'd that go? Let's say that Fenn hit it in 2000 and flew there to hide it. Now he's saying he used his own car to hide it. The guy's a joke. He said he drove a sedan. It's somewhere he didn't. It's less than 500 feet from the road at most. People drove by it. Not sure what Dent found. Wasn't something that another searcher left there. Yeah, cool. Good point. Math is a pass. I don't know how you can relate numbers to it. One thing is, not one number he did mention. that does come out. His Moses statue is on the second step of his stairway, and the Moses I found is on the second terrace, which is the second step of the terraces going up the side of the hill. No math and ball. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't care. But the only he maybe did math when he's dropping his bombs. At such and such altitude during this speed, it's gonna, blah blah. And I'm sure he got tired of doing that kind of garbage because the numbers aren't too rewarding, unless they're bank account numbers. What is something dig you? What? Well, something dig up your ancestors to sell their stuff. Yeah, I want to go check out. Oh, why my phone just went dark. I want to go check out, do some metal detecting around some ancestors' old houses. It'd be neat to find some coins that one of my ancestors lost. These Rogers, his place, I'm sure been gone over, but the whole area there is, there's probably other, there were other people there that are gone now. This guy's house, I don't think anybody's detected it. I think it's still just a hole in the ground where it was. And if I went and talked to the guy and didn't tell him what I put in my book about him, he might let me metal detect there, because his name was Wise. And I said, Mr. Wise, being not so wise, has plans to demolish the house. And he did. I went I didn't even learn of the place being there till a week before he already had it set to be torn down, and there was no time to do anything. So, I talked to the historical society and all, and yeah, nope. The founder of this town, and you let them tear his house down. It could be. All I found is Coca-Cola bottle caps and stuff. But what I'm going to do, I have set up here, but I'm going to give another print of the Clovis art that I got. Where is it? Oh, what's today? Ooh, I gotta do that quick. I think it's Walgreens has a 40% off photo printing right now. And I gotta order, get a few print. I'm starting to print, some large, big prints of some of the stuff I've got, some of the art I've made from these temples that I found, and making some art, and then I'm gonna, get some frames and whatever. And I got a friend with a gallery in Denver on Santa Fe, and I'm gonna. He said I can hang my stuff, put my stuff in his gallery, so I'll bring some down there. Hey, where? Oh, there it is. Okay, well, I want to show you a picture of that, and then we're going to play the hat trick. Want to play the hat trick? Play the hat trick game, and the winner. And the winner gets one of my 11 by 17 prints. I'll send it in a tube. You can get your own frame for it and matting, do your own, you might put it in a frame with a little thing around, crop it how you like, whatever in there. Looter. Who's a looter? David talks about the issue about Forrest being a looter or a privateer. My my fifth great grandfather is the one other book I got by my cousin Robert Rogers, Robert James Rogers, and he's a Canadian. He was a low battery. How's it low battery and I'm plugged in? Oh, let me see. We're gonna plug it into a different source. Come on, where is it? Put it in a more powerful charger. There. Okay. Geez, I wanted to play Hat Trick, and it's telling me I got a low battery. What's up with that? Oh, I hate that. Stupid phones. They make the phone so even when it's plugged in, it'll go dead because the power cord doesn't have a big enough wire to power the phone. Isn't that stupid? Very poorly engineered garbage. Oh. So, what did you see? Oh, it won't even show me my battery while I'm doing the live. I can't even see how my battery is. Stupid phones. Because now I'm afraid to, if I start the Hat Trick game and I can't finish it, I turn around here. Boop. This is the, so the winner will get 11 by 17 of that. It's my, it's Clovis art I found. This is badass. I see the eye in the eye and the nose. It's a real Clovis face. The bird dew, no, there's no bird dew on it. It's colored rock. There's some lichens up here, and these are leaves that are plants that are around it. Because this is just art in nature. This is. I found it. Let's see. It's by the sign to the Spanish toy factory, by the gate to the Spanish toy factory. Yeah. So yeah, I already got. I'm gonna go pick these up there at my son's. I'm gonna pick them up. I already have somebody that won one last time, and so I'm gonna pick them up. So I'll be sending them as soon as I pick them up from my son's 200 miles away. I'm probably going there Monday or Tuesday because I got to go on a weekday and when he's off work. So, okay. So we'll go to the Hat Trick game. Boop, boop. There's the Hat Trick game. Oop. Okay, and you see now they're all. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, C, D, E, F. So pick a hat, and if you get the gypsy zonk, you're out of the game. And my phone's still telling me low battery, so I hope we don't. E3. Nope. Get rid of that. C1. C1. Oop. A1. Oop. C2. Come on. C2. Nope. B2. Nope. You guys are gonna, when it's all done, you're gonna go, oh man, D4. Come on, I moved it. Move out of the way, D4 hat. F, D, F2, 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 B1. There's Forrest Fenn. But you're looking for the treasure. Like that, I stuck Forrest under there, yeah. F4. We gotta go. First one's first. F4. D3. F4. D3. E1. There's another Forrest Fenn. Come on. My mouse is running into things. I'm trying to move these. Okay, where's my E1, C4, C4, C4. Okay, there. I moved it. There. F5. F5. There's no 5. Ta-da! All right, Alan wins. F1. and he knew what I meant. The F100. That's why I rearranged the letters and the numbers so that it would go to F. All right, Alan. If you message me or email me or send a Facebook message to me with your where to mail it to, and I'll have it in the mail next week. Trickster, yeah, I'm gonna move it and we'll play again another time. C4. Yeah, that's too explosive, man. I want to put a bomb under it. I'll have a little explosion go off when I move C4. So Alan won. And we're going to send him one of them 11 by 17 of my Clovis art. When you send me an email, let me know if you want it autographed or not. Or can sign it on the back even or whatever. Front or back or whatever. So yeah, man wanted to talk about the books and about all the suicides and authors he brought up. Just because you write a book doesn't mean you're gonna go kill yourself. I have no plans on doing that. Trickster, I'd have trouble even if if I had cancer, I'd fight it all I could. See more next week. I made it. Hey, you did. But you missed the hat trick game. We already got a winner. Oh, there. Those are LED lights. They don't seem very bright in here. My phone's dark. Nope, it's not Glenwood Springs. No, because I go to the gate that goes to Brown's house, and you look across, and up on the cliff are the gypsies up there dancing. And they're not imaginary. It's not. No, I've shown it to a well-known and even he's an academic even. A well-known academic that just made the discovery of the 150,000-year-old mammoth in San Diego with the tools there, and he just oh man, there goes that out of Africa thing, man. There were people in San Diego 150,000 years ago using tools. This area, it's not really easy spot for animals to get around. There's the easier spots that animals get around in. You gotta be step over. Might have to step up 2 feet, step on it, but you can. A lot of the rocks are almost stairways, and you can see what's my path through here, and I go that way. Or, you're not going to climb over the big one. You're going to climb around it and look under it, and maybe I'll put together a little video of some of my recent searches since January and stuff, and you see how I'm looking under big boulders and when you're down there and when you're walking above and you're like, I don't want to knock any loose rocks down, and you think, well, a lot of the places there's some bigger rocks down below that would stop anything that you started rolling down the hill. But when you're out there in the wild and you think, oh, it's going to be fun to roll this rock down this mountain, you got to think about it. Is there somebody got a house down there with a swimming pool or something, When I was a kid, we used to go climbing the local mountain, and the rancher, that's one thing, that really pissed him off. Somebody rolled a big boulder down the damn mountain, and it ended up in his swimming pool, Or kill somebody down below. You don't know there's a road down there or something, So yeah, don't be doing that unless you can see exactly. Like we were throwing snowballs off this cliff, and it was just flat down where you could see and the snowballs just explode when they hit the bottom, and they make a big loud noise too, man. It's like, wow, the snowball made a big noise. So yeah. Anyhow, yeah, I don't have much else to say unless somebody doesn't hint of riches new and old. Tell you which hot spring. The dead Frenchman in Vietnam tells you where riches new and old is, and it's not too far from the hot spring where warm waters halt. I watched Cow Lasers. He's got a video and he wants to make a coin, right? I was thinking, boy, if my coin would be a round coin with a hole in the middle of it, and on one side it would say the thrill of the chase, and on the other side it would say, how deep is the hole? How deep is a hole? And you have a hole going through the coin, Oh, I see some stars. That's a deep hole. I can see the Orion Nebula in there. That's 50,000 light years away. That's how deep a hole is. Like it were around your neck. Yeah. How deep is a hole? It's just a hole through a coin. It doesn't have a bottom. It's bottomless. You know, that's why I say you could look at the stars through it, and oh, look, you know, that star is 50,000 light years away, and then your hole is through the coin is 50,000 light years deep. Think, yeah, how deep is a hole? And or better, how deep is a fire hole? Yeah. You can even put fire through it. You know, how deep is a hole, and put a little fire going up through it. Yeah, that's my idea for the coin. Maybe I'll submit that. You know, can you make a little coin with a round hole in the middle? Or what you do is you have the coin, right, with the how deep is a hole, and then there's a smaller coin that fits inside the hole that has the treasure chest on it. and what you do is you put matching numbers on the little inside coin and the round coin, and I don't know, you could say, you know, if you find a person with a match or what, who knows, I don't know, just make some kind of thing out of it. Too much, yeah. See, that's how people get too much into the they overthink it, and it's really simple. I got all the way. The poem leads to the drawings, and then the drawings lead to the symbol, and then it's like all of the parts of the poem kind of match up that one symbol. I even saw a little spot in the creek, and it was like, this looks like a hot spring, like the rocks around a hot spring bathing hole there, and I better look in there. I'm gonna wait for the water. The water's about 2 feet higher than it's getting the spring runoff is coming down, and so the water's high. Things that I have pictures of out of the water are underwater right now. So, and I don't want to cross the water with it up to my belly button. You know, I'd rather cross when it's at my knees. Yeah, my phone's bitching at me about my battery. Dirk, no. Have you ever been to Denver? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was up at the Denver Museum. They got the Mammoth is in outside. That's one of the, you leave his car in the parking lot, and you're supposed to think it's in the trunk. What trunk? There's a trunk on the Mammoth in the parking lot. He doesn't drive a Mammoth though. Nobody ever made a car called the Mammoth. Maybe that's what they should have called the Suburban. Did you see the front? There's a mammoth. There's a giant bronze mammoth there. I mean, that thing. I wonder what that cost. That's a $500,000 mammoth there or something. You know, it's huge. It's like life size, it's like Colombian mammoth. And he's got just like little human ears on it. You know, that's one thing. The mammoth, other than the trunk, they look like people. Signs. Yeah, the drawings in the books are the signs, the symbols. When you look up about the Knights of Columbus treasures or the hidden stashes, and they got all these signs on the trees and stuff. Those are blazes on the trees. There's huge signs there where wonders never cease. Yeah, Yeah, and then inside the museum is Anubis, and I found Anubis in this area with all the temples and the signs and the mammoths. Get your mammoth mask on and go crazy before you end. Oh yeah, that's the last clue. The last clue is the first clue. And the first clue is the last clue. Right before the poem, he says that it leads to the end of my rainbow. Or mouse. Mice have been. I plugged the holes in there. But he says it leads to the end of my rainbow and the treasure. Okay? So everybody I know that claims to be searching is ignored that part that it leads to the end of my rainbow. And they're only looking for the treasure. Okay? If the treasure and the end of his rainbow are in the same place, a rainbow has two ends. The beginning is another end. So if you want to find the end of his rainbow, look for the beginning of his rainbow. And that's where you get to Rainbow Hot Springs. And that's where I was going when I found the blaze. I haven't. I'm trying to see this, and I can't see it going back. I can't see him hiding it in Pagosa Springs where that warm water halts. I couldn't see him hiding it there. You know, in a city, no. There's too much can happen there. They decided they're going to move the bridge, or you know, they're going to build another hot spring next door, or you know, anything. There's too much happening there, you know, and it's a place that's not going to get disturbed. Maybe because the terrain would prevent that. Mammoth Mountain. They're mammoth temples. I think I've shown pictures of that. Let's get on here. There, that folder. Oh, this one. Ooh. There they are. There are the elephants. My pointers are not appropriate. I have to give myself a shot once a month. And no, you can't use a hypo for a pointer. You see the elephant head, and his trunk comes and curls up here. Boom. Yeah, and there's the other elephant. You know, and their trunk's curling all over the place here. There's the elephant here with his trunk curled up. And you go in here is... There's Moses right up there. There's somebody bending over there. I got a better shot of Moses though. And he's best at winter solstice. But you see, here's somebody's butt bending over into that big crack. See, Moses, there's this big crack here in the mountain. He's parting, and it's in between the two mammoth heads. He's parting the Rocky Mountains. Not the Arabian Sea. But you see, this is just more elephants. This is another elephant, you know? and then there's stuff up on top here. Oh, can we see anything in this? I got better pictures of this area. Oh, not really much you can see in that. But yeah, you can see. You see the elephant head here. There's the eyes and there's an elephant eye here and head. Okay, but yeah, those are mammoths. Those are mammoth sculptures. Let's see what else I got in here. See, I wanted to order that, but I didn't. I didn't trust the payment page, and you have to paint it yourself. See, this is like a guy standing here, his head and his arms, and this is another head in front of it. I had the art thing do, and it messed it up. It looked better without applying the graphics program. So yeah, and this, if you go from another angle, these are three different rocks, but from this angle they come together and you got a horse. You know, and there's the guy standing here. The nose, his nose and his mouth. He's standing. There's his horse. That's a blaze. But there are many blazes. And then look at in the river. There's X marks the spot. And he's oh, we went the wrong way. That's the one at the Denver Museum. It cut him out of my picture. And see, I put him in there. There he is. So I can do these different art process applications to it, That's why I pasted him in the picture and then I apply the art. No paddle up your creek, but a mammoth will take you over the mountain. See, Douglas Preston, he has the lost temples of the monkey gods, right? And I have the lost temples of the mammoth gods. Yeah. These are coyotes and, because I found Anubis. And coyotes and jackals are basically about the same thing. They're at the top here. That's the jackal and the coyote. Oh, what was that? I don't know. What was a mushroom? It's a lighthouse. There's the mammoth temples. Look what I did to them. Wow. You still see the elephants. You still see his head there. Turn them into, put windows in them. Now, oh, that was a cool one. See, because these are elephants. These are the elephant heads. See, there's an eye right there. This is his head coming down. And the elephants are marching to the left. And you see their trunks, the trunk hangs down here. And there's an elephant. See, he's facing forward. He's facing out at us. But here in the back, this elephant head, his trunk curls up here. And he's... See, here's the elephant trunk. This is the elephant trunk. He's holding on to the feet of these two dinosaurs that are hanging upside down in here. There's a dinosaur head. Another one. And see, he's got the dinosaurs. The elephant trunk comes down. He's got these two dinosaurs by their feet. There's the dinosaurs. Yeah, that is amazing. I was like, wow. Now you can see the elephant head here too, and this is by the end of his rainbow. I've identified the end of the rainbow, and you see when at the end of the rainbow, it's like I don't think it goes much any further than this, and so it's is it just before here, or is it back there where I saw some of the first shapes? You see the elephant is looking straight at us, his eye and his trunk coming down. And there's another one seeing his trunk coming. He's going that way. And his trunk's, he's pointing to the left. Hard to explain. So, what I want to do is, you see all the sculpture in this. There's a group of people, and there's elephant somewhere in there. Where was the elephant? Here's a trunk. It's mixed. People are part elephant, and elephants are part people. And here you see this elephant trunk over here clear. But what you see, you zoom in. When you zoom in, now you see this guy's head in here. And you see this group of people across here. Here's their heads, But the erosion is so bad that, all you're seeing is a general shape. There's not a lot of detail, I like this one up here. My orange hair. Okay. This is the elephant in the creek. And this is trunk curling in here. And then the steak rock. This is like a steak. It just looks like a steak. Those are all elephants. See the elephant's trunks coming down, curling? Those are just elephants across there. Yeah. It felt like a crippled ant in an elephant stampede. There's looking up at the temples. I think that's from my drone. But you see there's a human... This guy here, look at the head and the body here. See the head and the body, and and he's looking over to these mammoths. I think the mammoth worshippers are up here, up on this part. It's blurred because that's my drone. There they are. That's the mammoth. That's the worshippers right there. You can see his back here and his arm, his head, and his face, and he's got his face buried into the rock because that's the head of the mammoth, and he's praying to the mammoth. And you see another guy's face right over this guy's butt. There's another guy's face down here over his butt. You see him? Look at his eyes, man. And look, there's someone else makes up his nose, and there's people climbing on him. That stuff drives me nuts. Oh, shit. People think I'm seeing things as it is, and I had to close my door. It's getting cold. It's just shapes of rocks. It's like there's too much order to it. C4. Yeah, I'm gonna have a bomb. I'm gonna have a new thing that's under C4. It'll be a little packet of explosives. This here. This is the rock, the same rock that from another angle has that horse on it. And look at the ear of the elephant and this ear on the rock. This is, I mean, even the little fold in the ear flap is the same right there. And here's the eye. Here's the eye. There's the forehead of the elephant. Here's another. There's people hugging and his arms wrapped around the elephant here on the front of the elephant. There are people down in here. This guy, he's standing here. This is his backside. And he's standing there, and there's a woman in front of him, and we don't want to explain what she's doing, you know? But look at the anatomy on this rock elephant. It is absolutely perfect. And the trunk going down. And this is right on a creek. That anatomy, it's undeniable that that's absolutely perfect. Yeah, this is looking up. At different times of day, you get different views. The shadows got to be right for stuff. You see, there's people over here. See, there's a woman here. There's her mouth and her eyes. And these are on there intentionally. All right, good night. Have a good one, Jason. Yeah, so... Oh, there's just too much. Now, this is the area where the blaze is this rock here. This is where it says Fenn and has the fish on it and the fish hooks. But you got to look at the right time of day. But you see, there's somebody sitting there. There's things going on, you know. These hills are haunted or something. Look at this guy. See, there's an eye, the big smile. There's another guy on this rock. One after another. See the eye, the nose. It's a big gray colored head. There's a face right there. You don't see your eye here? But look, there's multiple faces. That's what I mean. They were eating them mushrooms and hallucinating. And Forrest, he talked about the one Indian friend of his. Oh, I'm looking it up so I can show you too. It was in Once Upon a While. And he's the one that said the white man goes to church and talks about Jesus. The Indian goes in his teepee and talks to Jesus. And where is he? Thought that wasn't it. No. Oh, well. I'm imagining a page or something. Maybe I'm imagining the wrong picture because I looked up other pictures of him. So yeah, they were doing hallucinogens, and it's Ezekiel stuff. There's a face there's a face looking straight ahead. There's one looking into the center, one from each side, and there's one looking out from each side. And it's like, it had 4 heads, and each head had 4 faces, type of thing. So, when you're talking about hallucinogens and stuff, you're talking other dimensions of art and people who have been sheltered, never smoked a doobie in their life, walked the street and never touched a drop of liquor. They can't imagine the things that people who have gone down the rabbit hole imagine. If your thinking isn't in the rabbit hole, then you're not going to be finding the treasure. But anyhow, as far as this guy here, Fred Harmon, he's the guy that did the Red Ryder BB gun. Forrest was shooting the Meadowlarks, with his Daisy BB gun. Fred Harmon, and Forrest talking about him in his book, Live in Pagosa Springs, where warm water halts. Fred's dead. 2 people can keep a secret now. I think he died in 2009. Okay. Wow. Everybody's gone. I'm going to end it. I gave away another painting today. This is Anubis' scepter, and that's where the people are walking along down here. You see all these people. These dark things are people. And they're all coming down here, and they're going up this stairway and going off into that vortex off to heaven. So, but I'll end it there. You have a good day.